What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing Ravens content every single day. And Josh and I recorded our podcast on Tuesday. The first segment came out yesterday. We're recording another one tomorrow. The podcast episode will be out tomorrow, but the segments from the first podcast, those will still be coming out. We still have some really good segments, so we have a lot of stuff that we're talking about over the next week or so. So stay tuned over the next couple of days. Obviously, there's some big news happening in the Ravens today, or in the NFL today, with the Ravens. Absolutely nothing. As per usual, we see Kadarius Toney getting traded. We see all these moves happening. None of them are with the Ravens. The only move the Ravens made was they did not put Deshaun Jackson on the roster, the 53-man roster for today. That was the only news that we really got. But we also see Christian Welch is lining up as the starting inside linebacker.
You saw that?
Alongside Patrick Queen, which shout out to Christian Welch. We'll see how that goes.
It's going to be a long – you know what? I'm not going to say it's going to be a long game. I definitely wish Josh Ross was he was on the active roster and was in – man. But McConnell, how you feeling, man? How you feeling about tonight, man? I mean, we got Lamar Jackson versus Tom Brady. We can't call him the GOAT right now because he hasn't been playing GOAT-like level.
Yeah, I hate Thursday night football until the Ravens play. It's so funny. Like every week on Thursday night football, I'm like kind of upset. Like I get it for opening week. I like it for opening week. I think that's always a fun thing. But every week I'm like, Thursday night football sucks because they always put the worst games. And then whenever the Ravens play on Thursday night football, I'm like, this is amazing. Yeah. We get Ravens football early. Like Christmas came early this week because like on Sunday, there's still good games to watch. So it's not like, oh, I can't watch the Ravens at 1:00. Instead, I get to watch some like Chiefs game, or I get to watch some, actually the Chiefs are on a bye this week, but I get to watch like, some other good team. Maybe it's the 49ers, maybe it's the Chiefs, maybe it's, some other team that I like to watch. Maybe it's the Bengals or whatever, some fun teams. I get to watch them. And then I get to watch the Ravens in prime time at the same time. So it's a ton of fun. I'm super excited. Obviously, I'm very happy that it's a good game. I hate bad games on Thursday night football. Like bad primetime games are like that is the worst thing to exist. I think the worst. There's a lot of bad things the NFL does. The roughing the passer penalties, just the inaccuracy with referees. But the worst thing in the NFL is the fact that every team is guaranteed a primetime game. Because there are some teams that nobody should be forced to watch, like the Chicago Bears. They've had 2 primetime games. The Denver Broncos this year, it's like, yo, take them off primetime. They got to be done. But the Ravens are a team where in primetime they thrive, right? Tom Brady in primetime, that's must watch. So I'm super excited for this matchup. The last time Lamar went up against Tom Brady, I believe was also in primetime. That was a great game, electric atmosphere. Joshua, I believe you have some recollection of Ravens Patriots on Sunday Night Football. I'm super excited, man. The rematch for Brady.
Yeah, man. That 2019 year was some special year, man. Being there, man, it was jumping off. It was jumping off. I could truly see that. But definitely I was playing that Lamar Jackson, Tom Brady. It's sad that we're seeing it on Brady's back end. That that he's playing against a great player. It's almost like watching LeBron play against some of these great young talents where you feel like they should have been in his era, or LeBron should have been in these young guys' era and playing at the at the talent he was playing at when he was in Miami. But I mean he's still playing at a high level in so many words, even though they're 0-4. It's tough. It's tough being a Ravens fan. It's tough being a goddamn Lakers fan right now too. But hey, it is what it is. It's Thursday nights, prime time. The good thing about the Ravens, they do come alive when they play prime time football. I mean, the Jackson 5. That's one that was one big prime time game. The saving the day from coming back from using the toilet. That was a prime time game by Lamar Jackson. I mean, the list goes on and on for Lamar. So
we got the Colts game too.
That one too. Did he throw up another 5?
I think that was 4.
Okay.
That may have been a 4 touchdown game. Okay. I remember Mark Andrews had like 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. I won in fantasy that week on Monday night. That was fun. I was not supposed to win.
It's incredible to see. We know that everybody's saying, "Oh, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, they got a chip on their shoulder because they lost to P.J. Walker and DJ Moore of the Carolina Panthers." I mean, yeah, they should have a chip on their shoulder. Yeah, Benjamin, exactly. So we're hoping to see a prime performance out of Lamar and this offense and the defense as well. So I mean, it's good to see them guys out there. You got the Patrick Queen and Devin White uh, teammates going against each other. So I mean, it's a lot of build up around this game. And Julio Jones, someone that we actually wanted to be part of the Ravens organization, will be suiting up tonight. So I heard. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this game plays out. Tom Brady, I know he's not trying to go 0-4, but hey, if you got to go 0-4 against us, then so be it. The Ravens need to come out punching, swinging, and don't give up in this fight.
Yeah, and this game, I think it's kind of funny. We will most definitely be talking about this tomorrow when we record our podcast.
Sure.
There's some news about the Baltimore Ravens organization. Skip Bayless, Drip Bayless, the Brady hater himself. Oh, wait, no, the Brady lover, the LeBron hater himself.
Yeah.
He said some things about Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson's unhappy. So we will definitely talk about that at some point. I just wanted to mention it because I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Hey, what do you guys think about this?" We'll be talking about that a lot tomorrow. And I see a lot of you guys have been commenting things, so don't worry. We will get to your guys' comments. Had to do the intro discussion points and things like that. Joshua, this is a good question to start it off. This is for fantasy football, but Rashad Bateman or Devin Duvernay? Who do you think is going to have the bigger night tonight? Shout out to Edmund.
You got to go Devin Duvernay, man. I mean, sorry guys, you got to go Devin Duvernay. I mean, let's be honest. He is the X factor, the weapon on the field. He is the Swiss Army knife that's been making things happen. As far as his offense. I mean, he's the all around best offensive player on the team. That's no offense against Mark Andrews. That's no offense against Lamar, but Lamar is a QB. Lamar is supposed to be giving the ball to his weapons. Lamar is giving the ball to the weapon, Devin Duvernay, even though the weapon is Josh Oliver. Give him his credit. He has been doing his thing, but Devin Duvernay, it has to be.
Yeah, I think also, you bring up guys that can do it all. We do have a QB / tight end in Mark Andrews now, the under center quarterback. What's funny is because we never get Lamar under center, but Mark Andrews under center. Greg Roman's like, that's something we can do.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Shout out to Gregory for that one. But when I'm looking at this game, I think the secondary is weak for the Buccaneers. That's something that they struggle with. But at the same time, they have a very good front seven. So they're going to be able to get pass rush, I think. Lamar Jackson's going to have to get rid of the ball quickly.
Yeah.
So I think this is kind of a big game for Mark Andrews, even though he's going up against a good tight end. Maybe it could be tight end number 2. Maybe this is the Josh Oliver steps aside and we get Isaiah Likely as the big game as tight end 2. Catching the football, but also I think Devin Duvernay on these short, quick routes to allow Lamar Jackson to not be forced into stepping back and holding the ball for a long time. Rashad Bateman this year has been kind of a deep threat, intermediate, 20 yards down the field. That's where it seems like he's been thriving with the Ravens this year. Yeah. Duvernay is get him the ball quick. And so I feel like this is my suggestion, Edwin, for fantasy purposes. If you're in a PPR, I would probably go with Bateman because I feel like he'll probably get more touches, but I feel like Duvernay has a better chance of being more explosive. I think Bateman's also safer, though, at the same time, just because he's the number 1 on the team. But, Duvernay's always got the potential to just have a, oh, look at that. He had a 60-yard touchdown. Whether it was a return touchdown, whether it was him running the football in a jet sweep end around, or it was him catching a slant or catching a deep ball. We saw the deep ball look pretty good last week. It was 30-yard pass to Duvernay. But overall, I think both of those are decent options. Not my favorite options just because the Ravens offense hasn't been amazing this year. But, I think I may be starting Bateman in one league. I'm not 100% sure. I may have actually benched him. I can't remember. I got Justin Jefferson, guys. I'm sorry. I'm starting J. Jeff.
Listen, man, it's fantasy. You got to do what you got to do for your team. You're making business moves,
Yeah, exactly. Adi says KJ Hamler or Kendrick Bourne, if those are the only two options for wide receiver at the trade deadline, Bourne is only making $4.9 million this year. So I think he's saying so the cap wouldn't be hit too bad. KJ Hamler's also on his rookie deal. Fun fact, so obviously a lot of people know about the Jerry Jeudy, Lamar Jackson connection. Yeah. KJ Hamler was drafted, I believe, in the second round of the same draft as Jerry Jeudy, 2020. And he was out of Penn State, and he's a deep threat. I would be, if out of these two guys, Kendrick Bourne is a vet. I don't think he's very good either. Now he's not that bad for his contract. He's not terrible, but KJ Hamler has looked good in the NFL as a deep threat. He's just in a very good wide receiver room with Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton, so he can't really get that consistent on the field. But KJ Hamler seems like every time he steps onto the field, he's a weapon, and at the same time, I feel like he's way cheaper than a Jerry Jeudy, because I know other people bring up Jerry Jeudy. One, Jerry Jeudy's going to get a massive contract. True. I don't know if KJ Hamler's going to get a huge deal. So KJ Hamler's kind of a sneaky player to maybe go after, because I know the Broncos, reports are saying that they're going to be selling hard if they lose this week against Jacksonville. I've heard Bradley Chubb, Jerry Jeudy could be on the block. So we'll see what they're able to do. But Joshua, what do you think? KJ Hamler or KB? Who are you thinking would be a better fit?
Neither. I'm going Terrence Marshall Jr. Still my guy. Still my guy.
Oh, could you imagine Terrence Marshall and Rashad Bateman?
I got to.
I like that.
Give my guys some threats on the outside. Let dude James Boucher or DeMarcus Roberts truly work that middle. Give him another outside threat. Terrence Marshall Jr. He was that guy at LSU. I mean, he hasn't been getting his fair shake in at Carolina. I say, why not give it to him? If you're not going to use Isaiah Likely in the way that I will love the offense to do it, get an actual prototype wide receiver that you can use as a deep ball threat, a tall guy, a jump ball guy, and he can stretch the field.
I will say those LSU receivers do great in the North. We got Justin Jefferson in the NFC North.
Exactly.
We got Jamar Chase in the AFC North. There's also Jamar Chase may be going on IR now, which is kind of crazy because
4 to 6 weeks. 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy because I never thought he was injured, and all of a sudden it's just like, oh yeah, he's injured. Yeah. Someone asked earlier, I want to find it. This is a good question. Miguel says, when's Tyus Bowser and David Ojabo coming back? So they were designated for return from IR 2 weeks ago, meaning they have to be activated or brought back from IR within 3 weeks. So they have up until this week. But at the same time, they can get activated from IR, but be inactive for the game. So they can get brought back and not play.
I wanted to say I thought we may have I thought we was going to see a Tyus sighting tonight, but
I was hoping for it, man. Yeah. I was hoping it would be Tyus tonight and we get Ojabo
Monday
week.
Night. Yeah. It would have made perfect sense in a perfect world.
Yeah, hopefully we get them both next week. But I would say within the next 2 weeks, I think we would expect both of them back at some point in some fashion. We may get Ojabo. I don't think Ojabo is going to come in and be, out there every snap. Because, this guy was a first-round pick. This was a first-round talent. But he hasn't played football in a very long time because he got injured. So he hasn't practiced football, in a long time. So he'll be slowly brought back. The goal with Ojabo is getting him ready for the playoffs. Hey, can you be a big time player in the playoffs for us rather than we really need you in week 9, man. You got to step up. I think the Ravens play the Saints next week we
got the Saints Monday night.
Yeah, we got the Saints Monday night. So, I think this is interesting. I don't know why. I just thought about this.
Talk to me.
We always talk about it, Joshua. The biggest stretches in any season is the primetime game stretch. That's how your perception is, right?
Yep.
The Ravens have only had one primetime game this year. They won it. That was against Joe Burrow. That was against the Bengals. They were able to win that game.
Yeah.
Now we have 2 primetime games. This is a big one against Tom Brady on Thursday night. But then we have another one against the Saints on Monday Night Football. If Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are able to have big wins, right? Could that change the narrative? Or do you think, let's say they win by 14 in each of the games? I'm not trying to get ahead of the curve, but I'm not trying to knock out. These are both two very solid teams. Even the Saints, they may not have a great record, but the Saints defense is legit. They have good weapons. They've been injured.
Yeah.
But try to flip the script, because right now the Ravens are seen as this, I don't really know if they're good or not team, because it's like they should be good. They've been leading by 10 plus points in every single game, but at the same time, they've been blowing leads. How can they, is it possible for them to flip that script in just 2 primetime games in the next 2 weeks? And they have 3 games until their bye week. I want to say their bye week is in week 11.
Yeah,
Can they flip the script going into the bye?
I mean, that would be the narrative. That's what they need right now. I mean, honestly, we talk about it. Second half of the season is where you really, find out who your team is and what the identity of the team is. I mean, I think we answered one of the TTB family members' question about identity in regards to the upcoming episode. If y'all haven't checked that out, be on the lookout for that. Just wanted to, shameless drop. But I mean, but seriously, in all seriousness though, I believe tonight's game and Monday night game will definitely be a prelude to what our second half of the season may look like, because I do feel like we do need to win these games in a Ravens 2019 fashion to make a statement, because there's no way in hell you can't constantly have those it's looking like it. I need them to stay healthy though, Benjamin. I need them knees to stay intact though for me, baby. Like for real. So I mean, in seriousness though, I mean, if we can put up a 14 point lead and sustain it against the Bucs tonight and the Saints tomorrow, it's the Saints Monday night, and win, in a conventional way and a confident way, I feel like that definitely helps us out. I definitely feel like that brings us momentum, and we can have that jolt going into the bye week. The rest of the bye week, and we can come back stronger. And then we have more of our pieces coming back as well to help us along the way. So I say that's the good thing that's been holding us together. Even though the offense has been playing subpar, the defense has been holding things together. Even though they're not ranked the top 10, but they are ranked in different categories in the top 10. You talked about it in one of the episodes we recorded. So I mean, I know everybody. So I look at it like this: the way the Bengals made it last year to the Super Bowl, they had an okay offense. Yes, they had high power moments, but that defense truly led them to the Super Bowl. Now I'm not trying to get ahead of myself. I'm not trying to get everybody started. But with a strong defensive play, even with the old guys, Justin Houston, Jason Pierre-Paul, I know Calais Campbell is out, but Travis Jones, Justin Metabike, Broderick Washington, I feel like they're going to hold down the fort. If those guys can keep on playing strong and keep on playing consistent, sound defensive, sound and minded games and cause turnovers and possibly we can get points, I think that defense can lead us to the Super Bowl with this, mid-tier, mediocre offense right now.
When you look at this team and the struggles that they've been through, you have to look. I hate that we have to bring up 2019 all the time, but 2019 is the most recent example of the Ravens, where they were able to catch momentum and they were able to be very good. 2019, the Ravens looked bad weeks 3 and 4. Like it was to the point where it was like, oh, is this team good anymore? Because they went out and they lost to the Chiefs, and I was like, okay, whatever, it's Patrick Mahomes. And then they lost to the Browns bad. It ended up being like a 10-point or 7-point win for the Browns, but the Ravens were getting absolutely destroyed in that game. And then I think like Willie Snead had a touchdown with like 30 seconds left on like a 70-yard pass from Lamar where it was like no one's trying and there's no time left. But the Ravens flipped the script after that game. When we went into the playoffs, when we were going into, let's say, week 9, week 10, week 11 of that season, it was not the Ravens are really struggling in these high-profile games, because they flipped the script. They went into Seattle. They went and played a great game against the Niners. They played a great game against the Patriots at home. They were able to flip the script by getting that momentum. And not just getting momentum throughout the season, but getting momentum in the games. It feels like this year we're yet to see momentum changing plays for the Ravens. They've had great plays, right? We've had Rashad Bateman 70-yard touchdowns, Lamar Jackson big touchdown runs, but it always seemed like those plays happened when they already had momentum. We're yet to see another team is starting to play well, and then boom, the Ravens stop it, and it completely ends those chances. Plays like a pick six, a big strip sack. Now, you can say, oh, well, the Ravens had interceptions in the Patriots game. They were playing against a bad team. Like I'm not going to, they weren't making like crazy plays. It was like, oh, Mac Jones just threw the ball up into the air. Marlon Humphrey caught it. Great play by Marlon. He made the play that he had to make. But we gotta get players to start flipping the script. And we are going into prime time against Tom Brady. There's no better way to capture momentum than stopping Tom Brady. Getting a sack on Tom Brady on a big drive that he has. Getting an interception off Tom Brady. It gives you a different type of momentum picking off Tom Brady than it does picking off almost any other quarterback in the NFL, right? I would say there's two other quarterbacks outside of Tom Brady that the Ravens could intercept, and you'd be like, oh, wow, they flip momentum. I'll say three. If you pick off Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, or you pick off Aaron Rodgers. I'm not even throwing Joe Burrow in the mix. I think Joe Burrow is a great player. But overall, it's like you got to find those plays where it's not just a play that you should make. It's a play that you get that extra step, right? You get the easy pick, you take it back for 6. You get the strip sack, you fall on it. The Ravens, they almost had that play in Miami. Tua ends up throwing the ball off to the running back, and he just throws out of a sack, so you miss the big sack, which is huge momentum.
Yeah.
Then the running back catches it, and Kyle Hamilton punches the ball, and it falls out. They call it incomplete. They call that a catch and a fumble. Boom, crazy momentum change, because that's when they're really trying to get going. The momentum is huge for the Ravens for the season. The momentum is huge for the Ravens for the game. Sick Kicks, thank you so much for the super chat. Says he was in Seattle in 2019 when Marcus Peters had that pick six. That's a momentum changing play. Marlon Humphrey against the Patriots, fumble return for a touchdown.
If we don't make Tom Brady break his tablet tonight, we lose. If we make him break his tablet, you have now ruffled his feathers. And we used to see when that happened with Tom Brady, he'll come back and he had that vengeance mode, the way he's going to turn up. But right now, his heart and his mind is not in football. His offensive weapons is hurting and ailing. Right now, you have to take advantage of that. I mean, it will be ideal for the Ravens to do that, but we said the same thing about Miami last year. And what did Miami do? They put up a great scheme, used all their speedsters and put us to shame. Yeah, boy, thanks for the super chat. I totally agree with that. There's no reason we should be playing as undisciplined as we've been playing this beginning of the season, man. So no, I definitely agree with that, man.
All right, Joshua, I think it's time we get into the bold predictions. And I want to start. Let's go with defense first. Benjamin calling the one-handed pick from JPP.
Ooh.
The revenge game pick. What are you thinking, Joshua? Let's start with the defensive side of the ball. Normally we go offense. Do you have a bold prediction for the defense tonight?
Their offensive line is hurting. I got Travis Jones going crazy. I got 3 sacks coming out of Travis Jones. Just really bullying them and just really making mincemeat with Tom Brady tonight.
I'm gonna say the Ravens have 7 sacks.
Woo!
7 sacks tonight.
Prime time like that, baby. Come on now, talk to him.
I think this is a game where the Ravens defense, because the Ravens defense in primetime has looked very good. Yeah. But the narrative in all these talk shows is Ravens defense isn't good. And then they went into Cincinnati, and I think they silenced it a little bit. And people were like, okay, they held Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and all these guys. Like Marlon Humphrey's back to being, all-pro Marlo. He's that dude now. Yeah. But it's still the talk about the Ravens defense. It's kind of like, okay, yeah, the Ravens defense is there. It's no longer blaming the Ravens defense like it was in the first few weeks. Oh, they're giving up all these leads. Now it's like, okay, the Ravens defense is decent. I think this is a game where teams all of a sudden go, well, I guess the Ravens defense is back to being classic Ravens defense because they were able to go out there and maybe Brady's going to put up points. I have no doubt in my mind about that, but it's still going to be a difficult points, right? Yeah. Long drives. Maybe they have to convert some really long third downs and stuff like that. But I think the Ravens are really going to get after it. The Buccaneers have one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. That's why I'm saying this. Tom Brady's can't avoid pressure very well. The Panthers last week sacked him. I'm going to look up how many times they sacked him because people are saying
Burns went crazy. I think Brian Burns went crazy.
He did, and I want to pull it up because some people are saying I'm going too wild with this prediction.
Hey, y'all, it's the reason we call it bold predictions, man. God dang it. Let us have our moment. We let y'all
Brady was sacked. Brady was only sacked one time, but I think he was hit like 8 times or something like that. I swear, when watching that game, it looked like he was getting sacked every play. I see people saying Matabike. This could be a big Matabike game.
Yeah.
But now let's go to the offensive side of the ball, Joshua. What are you thinking on offense for bold predictions?
I'm going back with Gus. I got Gus. I'm gonna say it. Gus 152 touchdowns. He had 2 touchdowns last week. He just didn't have 100 to add on to it. So I'm giving 150 tonight, 2 touchdowns.
I like it.
Ooh, boy, you want the money tonight, baby? Come on, talk to him.
I love it, Void. Benjamin's realistic. Chuck Clark drops 2 picks, but Geno catches one.
I like
Geno pick. I like the Geno pick. I love that one. What about a Kyle Hamilton? What if this is the time where we get the Kyle Hamilton great play, he baits Tom Brady, gets that deep ball pick. Maybe they throw it up for Mike Evans.
I like that.
I'm gonna go with. This is the game. This is the game we get our rookie to dominate. This is the game that the gorilla scores himself 2 touchdowns.
Ooh.
2 touchdowns for the gorilla tonight.
Does he beat Devin White on one?
I think he does beat Devin White on one. And I don't think he has a ton of yards. I think he has 6 catches, 50 yards. I think that the touchdowns aren't goal line touchdowns. I think they're, they were at the 10-yard line type of touchdowns, right? Maybe he gets a 15-yard touchdown. But I'm going to say 2 touchdowns for the gorilla Isaiah Likely.
I like that, man. I mean, they're going to be keen on Mark Andrews. This will be the time for him to really shine tonight. So, all right. So since you got, the gorilla getting 2 touchdowns, I guess it's time for that score prediction. What we thinking?
Ooh, it's been a while since we've done a score prediction. I'm going. I am going with 37-24.
Yo, McConnell, get out of my mind, bro.
Is that what you were thinking?
I was thinking 34. I was thinking 34-21.
I love it. I love it.
It's gonna be a good game. I mean, it's Tom Brady, it's the Buccaneers. They still got good weapons over there. You got Lamar Jackson. This offense and the defense is coming together. So I think if we get a punt or kick return, I feel like that changes the side. That changes the tides of the game. I feel like we would have to be down in order for Devin Duvernay to take it back and change the momentum of the game.
Yeah, Devin Duvernay is kind of annoying. Why does he always return kicks for touchdowns when it's the first kickoff or we're already winning? Can we get they just scored to take the lead and then we get it back? No, I'm just kidding. I love Duvernay. I'll take any return touchdown. But it's kind of funny because every time he returns it, it's we're already winning. Why are you having the good returns now? We need these good returns when we're losing. But they just don't kick it to us when we're losing. But I'm super excited for this game. Everyone, this one's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure to stay tuned on Twitter. Make sure to stay tuned after the game, the post-game show and things like that. I don't know how late we'll be able to go. I got work in the morning, but I'll definitely hop on for a little bit, hoping it's an exciting one and not an angry post-game stream. But Joshua, do you have anything final to say before we get ready for this game?
Man, it's Thursday night football. The Ravens is playing. We all home. If we lose, still go to work and make your money. Because they still gonna get their check. So y'all still go to work tomorrow. But enjoy the game, man. We love y'all, man. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming through. And subscribe for daily Ravens content. We'll see y'all after the game.